Hey everyone, welcome to the Punters preview for round 4 of the NRL. To start off with this video, we're going to do a quick recap of everything that we're putting out there every single round for the NRL, recap our article from last week, and very quickly to show you our Discord and obviously like reasons as to why you should join our free Discord and join in our community, which has over 350 people now. I think we've added almost 100 people in the last couple of weeks, which has been amazing. So just really quickly, as you can see in front of you, if you're watching on YouTube, if you are listening to it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, I've got the Linktree for Wicky open. It's basically a really easy way for you guys to check out everything that our company offers all in one place. At the top, you've got a whole bunch of social media links. So if you guys could, follow us on whatever social media you do use, give us a like and subscribe, all that kind of stuff. That'd be super, super helpful for our company. Obviously, we're putting a lot more effort in, and the more reward we see for that, obviously, the happier we are and more keen than I am to do even more of this stuff. Also, obviously, you can go onto our website, wiki.ai, our free Discord, as I mentioned to you before. We've got a newsletter. We've got Draft Stars that we partnered with, which are the paid daily fantasy sports company. They do NRL and AFL contests all winter round. Well, by the time you see this, so I'm recording this on Wednesday, Algo Sydney time. But by the time that you see this, we'll have an updated version of the Punters preview article. We've got our try score odds comparison tool, which is up and ready to go. I think we've got 6 bookies on there now, and like a really easy way to find the best price, whether it's for your same game multis or some of the big odd middle forward try scorers that we like to put out there. And then what I'm doing at the moment, whether you're sort of watching or listening to it, all these links will be updated with round 4 on the Linktree. If you are into NRL fantasy or NRL Supercoach, we do chat about that on our Discord. And I'm starting, or I have already been doing like a 30-minute recap of the sort of like, captaincy options, the trading in and trading out of players, price changes, team news, all that kind of stuff. I recap that on here, so you can check out the round 4 version of that. I'll need to update this for round 4 with expected minutes for forwards, goal kickers for any of you player performance, tragics, or maybe sort of NRL fantasy Supercoach or Draft Stars players. I've got all that stuff in there. So look, everything our company offers, it's all on the one page. As much as you guys like and share our stuff, it obviously gets us a lot more excited to put it out there for you every week. But to start off with for this video, so we'll get into the value plays for round 4 in a second. But just really quickly, I'm going to go through how last weekend went. These games are out of order, so I'm going to try to find. Well, all right, sure. Was that it? Yep, Seagulls and Para. So Manly and Para kicked off last round. Manly won. The Eels are 0-3. In terms of our picks here, from memory, I think it was just Ola Kawatu ATS that got up for us at $4 odds, which is awesome. What was the exact? Forgot what we had here, but yeah, sorry, it was the Cartwright edge. So it was the right edge of Manly versus the left edge of Para, which included Bryce Cartwright. DC and Olaquatu both on that right edge, and obviously Olaquatu got up $4 odds, which is a great start to round 3 for us. Moving on, Knights and Dolphins. Unfortunately, not a lot to celebrate about here. Dan Saifidi ended up getting injured. Knights didn't do so well. Obviously, the Dolphins won pretty convincingly, and they're now 3-0. Jared Wallace got scratched. So, anyways, didn't go so well. What did go quite well, though, was the Roosters Rabbitohs game. So, Totola, unfortunately, did not get up. Joey Manu was really close, and I love the value on offer here. You can see here from this screenshot, we found him at $3.90 on 365. That was way better than what our model thought the odds should be, way better than his career strike rate, and a little bit better than most other bookies. Really like that play. I think he came close once or maybe twice from memory, but didn't get up in the end. What did get up though? Kalamatangi, he did score the first try at $34 odds. And obviously we had an ATS at $5.80 as well. So both of those plays got up, which is awesome. I think I outlined here that he'd been looking really good. The Rabbitohs right side looked really good in round 1, and we thought they'd potentially go back to that side, given that round 2 didn't end up working so well for them. The Rabbitohs lost, unfortunately, but obviously we won on our play here, which is an awesome start to the week in the third game. I thought I'd just quickly, so when I go on about the free Discord that we have, as I said, it's got like 360 or so people in there now. But you can see here, just after 8 p.m., the Roosters Rabbitohs game started. Obviously, I went nuts at the start. We had like a few of the guys that also got on. I put a little screenshot of like our reasoning and stuff for Kolomatongi to be a good play at $34. Obviously you can see here now a few of the slips. Just sort of confirm that a few of the other guys got on at first try score and anytime try score, which is amazing. Almost Manu try, that would have been really good follow-up. But yeah, a few of the guys obviously like won quite a bit of money on that, which is awesome. Can't always guarantee wins, but it's really nice to have that sort of sense of community. We're all getting in on those value plays, and obviously like we do everything that we do for free. So we're not trying to sort of sign you up for like a tipping subscription or anything like that. But yeah, the guys just absolutely loved it. So I thought it'd just be cool to sort of scroll through some of the chat just to show you an actual winner and sort of like the community's response at that point. But just scrolling through the games real quick. So Titans and Storm, I think Hughes might have scored, but now I can't remember. This game didn't go so well. Hughes might have scored, but I think unfortunately, I think we missed out on pretty much everything here. Wishart ended up getting benched an hour before the game, so I did put it on our Discord that obviously cash out your Wishart bets if you had them on there. Cowboys, Warriors, Fanua Blake in round 2. So these plays were for round 3. Round 2, Fanua Blake, last try score at $101 did win. Unfortunately, this time, these things don't often happen 2 times in a row. Griffin Neem was an amazing value play until bloody Heelan Lukey got named on the bench an hour before kickoff. But anyways, Neem at $81, pre-game, Cowboys were strong favorites. That already was an excellent play, first try score, second half. Unfortunately, he didn't get up, but yeah, ridiculously good value. I think he should have been priced around like 51s at most. So that was a really, really good value play. Moving on, Broncos, Dragons. Nope, nothing here, unfortunately. And then the last couple of games, Bulldogs, Tigers. Otukamanu had scored the week before up against the weak Dogs pack. Really like this play. Dewey was injured and played really badly. If I'd known that, I definitely wouldn't have been tripping this, but that's right. Moving on. CHN, Harrower and I has been playing edge and he keeps getting named at lock. So while ever he's sort of like in the 30s for first try scorer and sort of like $6 or more for any time try scorer, I'll definitely love that. It's a peanut, good odds. I'm always going to go on that. And Hunt and ULA, two of my favorite try scorers in the form. ULA, especially at that price. But yeah, as you can see with these plays that I'm almost never sort of tipping wingers and centers. You're not going to win on every game. And if you are staking, like you'd want to be staking relatively small to make sure that you're able to get on a bunch of these value plays at high odds, knowing that, you might only win one in 50, 60 or 70, but the prices that you're getting are 70, 80 and 101s. But yeah, that's it. As you can see in the article, like I'm trying to we don't have ads and like spammy stuff all over our site. But one thing I do put in here is I make sure I put in like the links to so if you want to listen to it, the podcast version, it's on here. If you want to look at the YouTube version, obviously I screen share just like I am now. You can check it out here. You've got links to our odds comparison tool that is completely free for you to use. You can sort by all this stuff here and sort of find value players however you like. That's all free and you can click through straight here. So I try to make it as easy as possible for you guys to find everything or anything and everything around NRL and punting that we offer all in this one article. But obviously, if you guys have any questions, feel free to contact us. Just before I started the value plays for this round, I did ask the sports betting channel on our Discord community a question in terms of like, I'll probably ask it last minute. I'll do it a bit earlier next round. But the one thing that a couple of people have asked me is like, how do you stake these try scorer plays? Because like, you're not betting on lines at $1.90. You're not sort of betting on margins at $3 and $4 or same game multis at 20 or 30 or whatever. Like these are legitimately $51 odds, $67 odds, and 101 or whatever, right? So if you're staking a big amount on these, you're just going to get frustrated because the first 3 or 4 don't work out. And then when like the 10th or the 15th one does and you're not on, it's going to be super annoying. So I just wanted to clarify, like I've been doing this for the best part of a decade, mainly for fun. Haven't tracked too much of this stuff personally, to be honest. But one of the guys in the community actually reached out saying, like, asking me questions around staking and our performance. And I was like, well, I don't do this as a tipping subscription, so I just never bothered to track it. I am this year though. I've tracked round 1 and maybe 2. I'll get round 3 and then I'll share the results of that. But I think to answer the question specifically around staking, like everyone's stakes are quite different, but I'll just talk you through like how I do mine. I'm by no means like an expert at staking. I just have a really basic version of staking that I've followed for most of the last few years, and the stakes have just sort of slowly gone up over a period of time. But the way I like to look at it is I always look at it in terms of like with these big odds try score plays, how can I win, let's say, always even amounts like $1,000, $1.5 grand, $2 grand. So for example, if I find like an $81, $67, right? So Royce Hunt, first try scorer, second half, up against like a relatively weak Raiders pack with no Papali, no Adam Elliott from last season. Anyways, I really like Royce Hunt at $67, first try scorer, second half. So I'd probably put $15 on that to win $1 grand, for example. But on the same, like a similar example is Braden ULA. I'm betting on 3 different bets, first, second, and last try scorer, all at $67 and an ATS bet. So if I'm going to be putting $15 on Hunt, I probably wouldn't put the same amounts on ULA for 3 different bets, because then I'd be spending $45. So again, do what you're comfortable with. Personally, like I'm a little bit more biased towards certain players. So like ULA, Utuka Mino have incredible try scoring records early in their career, and I'm willing to back them in. So what I would have done is gone 15 on first, second, and LTS. The ATS at 875, I might put like 35, $40 on to win about 300. Royce Hunt, I probably would have put on around 23 or whatever it is to get me like a $1.5 grand win, maybe even 30 if like after teams it was still $67 odds. But those are the kind of stakes that I would go, just because I've done this for best part of a decade. I know what I'm doing in terms of like, I know that I'm going to be getting on every single game, every single round. And if you're getting on, 8 times 25, like 200 NRL games a season, and I'm putting on, let's just say 5 of these plays every game on average. If you think about this game, like I've got 4, but then there's multiple in here. But for rough numbers, if I'm getting on 200 games, 5 plays a game, I usually get on more than that, by the way, but that's 1,000 plays over an NRL season. And I know that if I'm consistently checking team lists a day before, an hour before, looking for the best price across different bookies, I know that it's going to pay off for me over 1,000 bets over 6 months. So that's my reasoning in terms of like how I like to stake stuff. I'll just try to use one more example just to give you some variety though. But like DCE, for example, FTS at 31s, I would put roughly $17 on that to win 500. The ATS at 575, I really like that. So I might put like 40, 50, $60 on it. So I think like just adjust your stakes accordingly. I would have thought like, unless you're obviously gamble responsibly and all that kind of stuff, but I would have thought that most people, if you're kind of relatively new to try score betting and you're not used to betting on things that are 90 to 1 and 67 to 1 and stuff, you don't want to be putting $15 to win $1 grand. That might be a bit much, and you might find yourself missing out on other opportunities just because you're probably putting too much on these individual big odds try score plays. So I would have thought like maybe like $5 to $10 on a specific try scorer pick that you like. So like if you looked at, just going to pick another game here. Let's go. I'll go again with a few different options. So let's go. Titan Storm. Let's just say Wishart didn't play so well the week before, and you thought, yeah, look, the price is good, but I'm not going to back him in on this one. Katoa had 3 line breaks the week before, and he was coming up against the Titans. So say you really like that, you might choose to get like a $6 or $7 at 29s to win a couple of $100 on that first try scorer play. Tino at 11s, like he's coming up against his old team. He'd scored the week before. Needs to step up with a couple of injuries in their forward pack. Let's just say you like that, you might want to put like $20 to win a couple $100. And then let's just say you don't like Fafita because he's coming up against Storm and you're a little bit nervous, but you do like you did like Hughes, say for example. You really like the price on him. You might want to put like $30 on ATS to win $1 grand, because obviously the odds are quite small, so you feel a little bit more confident putting a bit more money on, I'd assume. And the first try scorer second half at 26s, you might put $8 to win 200, because you're like, yep, I think Hughes could definitely score a try, but I don't want to risk too much money on something that's a $26 shot. So I know I'm not answering this exactly, but it's just because I've got a pretty informal way of doing it. Feel free to discuss it on our Discord to see what other people do. But my general recommendation would be the higher the odds, the lesser the likelihood. Therefore, I'd be staking less. And I'd definitely be veering towards the side of staking less generally, just so you don't like burn yourself out betting $20 on 7 different try scorer plays, losing, getting frustrated, and then missing out on a potential kilometer time to get 34s. But anyways, I'll cut myself now. That's probably enough discussion on staking. Let's move into this round, guys. I'm going to get into the team news. I'm going to spend less time on this stuff and spend a little bit more time on value players because I find that the episodes are getting probably like too long and probably going too much into detail. Now that we're a few rounds in, it should be relatively consistent. For the Eels, main team news, Maddo's back, Madison's back, starting in the second row. He'll probably move to lock later in the game, so just watch out for the impact on a few different players. The Panthers, it's just Sorensen back, and I think Eisenhuth has moved out to the reserves. But aside from that, nothing too different. Simonson's really been struggling on the wing for the Eels, so that's the right winger. The left winger was Tungo and Taruva on the left side for Penrith, and obviously Cleary's bombs as well. So I'd really watch out for that matchup there. Storm and Tigers. Let's have a look. I think that's right. So Munster's in, but unfortunately for them, Hughes is suspended for 2 games. And aside from that, I don't think there's too much. So most likely Jonah Pezzett will come in for Jerome Hughes here. With the Tigers, it's an absolute shit show. Like I have no idea. So Dewey's got turf toe. He might be ruled out, or if he's not, he'll still be hindered. How the hell is he going to play fullback? I don't know. You've also got Dane Laurie, the usual fullback, on the bench. And you've got like Wakeham in the halves just because they played better with him towards the end of the game. I have no idea what's going to happen there, so I won't comment too much. Laurie's on the bench. Papali's in the starting team, and Bateman's back, his second game back. Hopefully, he gets some big minutes. It'll be good to watch him. Dolphins Broncos is going to be awesome. Both teams are 3-0, playing at Suncorp. It's going to be an excellent game. Felice Kafusi's out for 4 weeks. So I put out on our Discord that I found Lemuelu at $67 first try scorer, about $8 or $9 anytime try. Oh, sorry, not Lemuelu. I found Kenny Bromwich, my bad. He's named at prop. When it was confirmed that Kafusi was going to be ruled out for 4 games, first thing I did was check Kenny Bromwich's odds, assuming that he'll be the most likely to step back into his usual role on an edge. Found him at $67 first try scorer and about $9 anytime try scorer. And then someone in the group chat put out that he's actually $11 anytime try scorer. I think all those prices have now disappeared, but as always, like another reason for you guys to get out on our Discord and join in the chat there. A couple of people on Tripod, the Facebook group, they pointed out that it could very well be Gilbert, or who's the other one, or small chance Aitken moves to the second row, and then, well, he's not actually here, but their gun rookie Tafari, I think his name is, he could potentially come into centers. That could happen next week, but I'm thinking like Bromwich should at least get half the game. He might job share with Gilbert on an edge or whatever, but I actually got on both. So got on Kenny Bromwich. I found that, put out the odds, was really happy with that. Someone mentioned on the Tripod group, hey, Tom Gilbert could get it. I was like, excellent. I'll get on him as well. So we'll see what happens there, but that should be good fun. Broncos, same team as last week. They're doing really well, so they should be cracking game. Nothing else much to note here. What I thought I'd do, just to like break it up a little bit, I thought I'd do like Thursday and Friday games for these 3 and now get into the odds comparison tool. And I'll come back for the Saturday game and then go back to the tool. It'll be better than me just sort of talking through team list for 15 minutes straight. So as usual, let's go game at a time. Dylan Edwards at 390. It's really good according to our model. His career striker is actually worse than that, which is not a good sign. And he's slightly better on Bet365 than he is about bookies. Anyways, to keep it short, I really like it and definitely recommend that. Sivo was 255. He's now 245. He's good, really good value according to his career strike rate. He's also playing at Combank, and our model really likes it too. So I think I'll end up going with that as well. So I really like Edwards, and I also like Sivo. Historical value, I think Cleary at 475 ATS stands out. But I was saying to the guys on the Discord, I think there might be a better way to play that. So I'll put that out in the Punter's preview article. But if you want something simple, 475 for Cleary, way better than other sides, way better than his career strike rate. Up against who they beat in the grand final, coming off a bye. I really like that 475. I don't think. Ooh, Moses at 7 is interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if I'll go it, but that one stands out as an interesting play, and that's probably it here. Guys, I did mention this last week, but we also have last try scorer now, so you can compare odds for last try scorer markets, which is awesome, as well as FTS second half. We don't have models for those, unfortunately, but you can still compare how good they are compared to historically in their career, how often they've done it, and also according to how they are according to other bookies. So like Makatoa at 101s, he's like 51 or 61 or less everywhere, which is why he's really good market value. But anyways, let's get back into it. Yeah, lovely at 81s. I'll keep it at that. Like Panthers, obviously the favorites here. Stronger pack as well. Leota, strong ball runner, really good price, way better than model and career. And yeah, noticeably better than other bookies as well. So yeah, love the 81s there. Dylan Brown at 41s, really like that as well. He's looked really good this season. Had an excellent season last year. Way better price than other bookies. Throughout his career, he struck at 21s. And we're getting 41s here. The model understands that the Eels are the outsiders, but that 41 price is really good. No one even has him at 34s, and you're getting 41s on tap, which we really like. I think that's it there. Historical value. Oh, nothing really stands out there. Oh my god. Spencer Leniu, tell me he's still 101. So I got on this 67s. I still like that. Up against a weak bench, Spencer Leniu at $67 is a really good play for first try scorer second half. So I'll put that out there for sure. Leniu. Right. That's it. Awesome. So that's it for the first game. Let's go through this second game. First game of Friday. Don't love any of these. Hughes is out, by the way, so ignore him. Uti Kamanu, absolutely. I love that. He scored in a trial, he scored in round 2. The Storm pack is not what it, or the Storm team is not what it has been previous years. They're missing Pappenhausen and Hughes now, still missing Nass and at least one other forward that's escaped my mind. But anyways, excellent play. You can see how much better he is on Sportsbet at 15s compared to other sites that have him at like 875 or less. You can also see his career, he scored once in every 5 games, and we're getting $15 odds. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, love that play. Nothing else really stands out. I'm happy to just go with Tukumanu ATS, to be honest, over here. First try scorer, Katoa at 29s. Really like that as well. I know Hughes will be missing, and that's unfortunate, but it's just a really good price for a player who's looked really good for the Storm earlier this season. Aside from that, I think I'm okay to stay away from. Pretty sure Clemmer was 151s before, but I'm pretty happy to stay away from most of these. Historical, I think I will also like Brooks at 51s is interesting. Maybe last try scorer. If his last try scorer price is good, and it is 51s, I might be getting on that. But yeah, aside from that, happy to stay away. Nope, nothing here. Yeah, nothing here. Cool. Awesome. Last game for this bunch on Friday night. So this gonna be a cracker. Both teams 3-0. Friday night, 8 p.m. game. Kafusi is ruled out, so ignore him. He's suspended for 4 weeks. Katoa, just remember, guys, like with rookies, if they haven't played 10 games, a model doesn't read in their data correctly. And yeah, it's just got his odds way too short over here. But yeah, I'll probably move on from here. Oh, sorry, who's that? Ricky. No, don't love it. Bromwich at 18s. Oh, that is a big number. Jesus. I might look at Bromwich at 18s. I think there might be a better way to play that. These. So Gilbert could be really interesting. So he's still available, which is great news. If you think Gilbert gets some time on the edge, he's already scored a try this year. He's up against a strong Broncos pack, but those odds are tempting for someone who might get like a 30 minutes on an edge. You might get 25, 30 minutes in the middle, and then the last 30 minutes of the game on the edge, for example. And those odds are pretty tempting for someone who is generally a good ball runner and could actually get some time on the edge. Really nice price, I think. But aside from that, I'm happy to move on. First try scorer, don't love any. Yes. J Brom 126 Neds. Get on. Love that price. Absolutely love that price. Rookie at 34. I could have sworn he was higher before, but 34s is interesting. I'll have to make a decision on the best way to get on rookie on tab. What I mean by that is when I write the Punter's preview article, I play around with each site, especially tab. There's a few different ways to get on. First, second, or third try scorer, which is one bet. And if like Ricky scores any of the first 3 tries, it still gets up. Tabs stuff up their markets where instead of the equivalent of 34s, which might be say 11 or 12s, they might have him at say 17s, which would be the equivalent of 51s. So that might be a better way to get a Ricky. I'll double check that before I put it out in the article. Yeah, Gilbert 71s. I think he scored the first try every 16 games he's played. Most of that was on the edge, and this will likely be starting at lock. But just definitely want to keep an eye out for. Sorry, J Brom I've already mentioned. Cool. Model value wise, Jared Wallace. No. There he is. Jared Wallace, $81, first try score, second half. Absolutely love that. He loves a try. Scored a couple for us, I think 2 weeks in a row, and got up once at $81 odds in the next week. I think I might have not have tipped it, but he did it again, and I think I won a little bit of money on that. Definitely keep an eye out for Jared Wallace. Really like the $81 first try score, second half. Cool. So that's it for the Thursday and Friday games, guys. I'm going to quickly cover team list for the Saturday games, and then we'll do the same thing. So main changes here, Cotter out for the Cowboys on top of already missing Hiku and Drinkwater here. That and they lost to the Warriors in North Queensland last week, which is a pretty surprising loss. Unfortunately, the Titans are still missing Verrills. And I think aside from that, there's been no further changes. I think with these two teams, it's going to be a really interesting game. I hope it's hot and I hope it's high scoring because we're hopefully going to find some value try scorers here. Rabbitohs missing Sele, Mitchell, and Tola from their pack. They do get back Post and Daniel Fafita, moves Cheekham to the bench. It's going to be a really interesting one. I think I put this out on that Discord chat where Cheekham was like 71, or maybe I didn't actually. It was probably I got on and it just disappeared straight away. But Cheekham was $71, first, second half try score or last try score, something like that. Really good odds. And I thought that he should at least get about 30 minutes on an edge because I don't see Host playing a full game on the edge straight away when Cheekham's done a reasonable job for the first 3 weeks. But just another one to keep an eye out for. With Manly, I don't think they've got any changes. Not that they do not, but yeah, with Rabbitohs being the pack moving around that we'll have to look out for. Yeah, that's it. There's only 2 Saturday games this week, so I'll go through the markets for those. So anytime try scorer, Cowboys, Titans. Holmes is reasonable at 320. David Fafita at 450, actually I really like. Next to Kieran Foran on that left edge for the Titans. Historical value, Tino at 825. It's interesting, no Cotter, would be hot weather. I just wish the price was slightly higher. See what I do with him. Lukey at 540 could be interesting. If he's named to start for Hess, I absolutely love that. Absolutely love Lukey as a try scorer. And Neem at 10s, which I think is reasonably good also. given that obviously Cotter's out, he should be getting 5-10 minutes more than usual, and he's one of my favorite try scorer plays. Market value, yeah, Lukey stands out here, and that's completely out of these guys. First try scorer, name at 81s. Oh my god, I can't believe this price is still around. I really hope this price is still around by the time this video gets out, and also our Punter's preview article. That is ridiculously good. It says he's never scored a first try before, but that's because he's barely started any games. He is a very good ball runner. Has scored the first try in the second half already like 2 or 3 times in his career. And generally his try scoring strike rate's quite good as well, and he's going to get more minutes. Love that. Definitely getting on first, second, and last. Panini at 81s, ridiculously good price. I think he should be around sort of 51 to 61 at most. Yeah, Dearden being 31s, that still being around is amazing as well. Love that. Play that in a few different ways, like FTS, LTS, and maybe even ATS. I missed that. What were his odds here? Dearden 425. Yeah, I like that actually. I don't love it, but I do like it. You can see he's got 3 orange lights, and then with Dearden here, he's got 3 green lights. So we love the 31s. Well, the model loves the 31s more than the 425. I'd still have a little bit on the 425, but that 31 looks like a really nice price. I think aside from that, historical value, Body Chester's done it, or done it already in his career, it seems. Don't love any of these guys. You know what is interesting though? The 51s on offer. Where did I miss that? Tanner Boyd at 51s. Yeah. He is been a bit hot and cold. Like he was really good in last year. Been like, I haven't watched all of their games this year, but heard some not so great things from some NRL fantasy fans. But I actually really like that $51. Let's again have a look at maybe what his ATS price was. What, 750? I almost like the 51s more, but yeah, I'll have a think about the best way to get on that. So Tanner Boyd at 51, I'd at least be playing that like first try scorer, last try scorer for the really small stakes, but I'll try to think of a better way to play it. Dearden, as said, love that. Neem, love that. Market value, Neem, Dearden, Dev Feeder. Yep, Dev Feeder as well. Like that 31s. Yep, those 3 plays are the main ones. So Neem, Dearden, Neem at 81 on tab, Dearden at 31 on tab, Boyd at 51 on tab, and then David Fafita at 31, I think also on tab. Rabbitohs Manly, the second game for Saturday. Cody Walker, 3 green lights, $4.25 on tab. Absolutely love it. Lachlan Ilias at 5.75 on Sportsbet. I like it. I don't love it. I think Manly's actually going to do well this week with the decimated pack for Souths. But it'll be interesting to see how that goes. LOI at 12, I do like it, but I'm going to find a FTS price, hopefully, that I like instead. Olakawatu, $4.20 on Neds. I really like that. I can't believe I missed that earlier, but I'll definitely have a look at that. Historical value, nope, there. And then model, nope, happy to. Oh, sorry, market value, happy to look past that. First try scorer, Daniel Fafita at 101s. I think it's okay to have a small dabble, but yeah, I don't personally absolutely love that. Moving on. Murray at $51 I actually really do like, so I'll probably recommend that as like a first, second, and last. 3 separate plays, all at 51s, all at smaller stakes. Aside from that, I think it's really the 26s for Cody Walker is interesting. Way better than his career strike rate. He's done it once every 12 games, and we're getting 26s here. The model says it should be 24, and 26 obviously only a little bit higher. But I think if you look at all the other bookies and his career strike rate, it's all in the mid-teens, and you're getting 26s for Cody Walker. Even though I don't think Souths will win the game just because they're packed. Walker, Latrell, Cook, Colin Tongi, like they've got some really good players still in that lineup, and I really like the Cody Walker play actually. And yeah, Kepi at 101s against depleted Depleted pack for Souths on the bench. First try scorer, second half, as long as that price. I love that. Paseka, absolutely love that. $91 first try scorer up against a weaker Souths pack. And yeah, Murray again, as I said before, at $51 on tap. So I love those. Let's get into the last bit of the video, which is the Sunday 3 games on Sunday. The structure is slightly different this week. Warriors, Bulldogs, Nickel Clockstad's back, and so is Ford. Curran is on the extended bench, like on the reserves still, unfortunately. So basically, Barnett and Egan out, CNK and Jackson Ford in. That pack is so deep now for the Warriors. It doesn't matter if a couple of those guys are out. Egan scored 3 tries in 3 games, so he's going to be a bit of a loss. But generally, I think they'll be okay. The Dogs are into the same team. No changes. I think they're unfortunately I haven't been able to watch their last 2 games. So I'm actually really excited to sit down and watch this one. Jacob Preston, heartbreakingly, I missed out on putting it out there that he was starting and he was 67 first try scorer, first try scorer for the Dogs in round 2, and then he did it. So that burns every time I see the name, and now he's been crunched in on every side because it's obvious that he's starting on the edge. But aside from that, not too much else here. Knights and Raiders. The Knights dropped Dom Young because moving to the Roosters next year to bring in Greg Marshew. Aside from that, they've got Frizzell on the extended bench. Man starting at lock. Brayley's back at hooker. Marshew, as I just mentioned, is on the wing. But if Frizzell doesn't play and there's a chance Daniel Saifidi misses because he's injured, that is like a reserve grade pack. And it's just due to injuries. Like, I'm not being fully disrespectful. It's just yeah, tough on them. The Raiders though get Josh Papali'i back, and Danny Levi is unfortunately out. Wolford will play the same role as Levi, like that sort of 20 to 30 minutes. Did I say Danny Levy? Danny Levi will play the same role, 20 to 30 minutes, with Starling getting most of it. And Starling's had really good stats to start the year. He's been looking really good. Hopefully, Papali'i back means Tapine has a little bit more oomph around him and he can get a little bit more quality in his game a few weeks into the season now. And hopefully it's not as hot. Well, it isn't as hot this weekend as it was on last few weeks, which would be great. Horse scored 2 tries last weekend. Heartbreaking for those of us who had a small dabble on him. Just for a bit of fun at $101 to score the first try in the second half. He scored, I think, the last try in the first half and the second or third try in the second half. Just heartbreaking. But anyways, good signs for Horsberg. And also really good work by Starling. I'm pretty sure he would have been the one putting him through holes. Dragon Sharks, last game of round 4. No changes for the Dragons. And the big one for the Sharks, Nico Hines is back at number 7. Trindle on extended bench. There's still a small chance that Hines pulls up not quite right and Trindle ends up playing, but Trindle's also got like an ankle complaint. So a couple of things to look out for here. But aside from that, the boys BHU, ULA, and Royce Hunt, they I think are good prices again, but we'll have a look soon. I love Josh Kerr for try scorer market as well. I think he's $101 first try scorer second half. And a quick shout out to Frankie Molo, plays his 100th NRL game, and he's going to be a good price against the Sharks. So we'll go through that now. So 6th game, anytime try scorer. I do not like $6 odds for anytime try scorer on Sean Johnson, even though our model does. Happy to look past him. Historical value. No one really stands out here. Market value. No, I'm happy to go on Brown first couple of rounds, but I'm happy to look past him now. If he's not playing hooker, maybe he's just not getting as many opportunities like from around that rock area that we'd want. So I'm happy to look past him. So no ATS plays for Warriors Bulldogs. First try scorer. Jacob Preston 41s is actually like all right, considering he's already done it once in his career. He's a strong ball runner. I'll have a think about Jacob Preston. Nothing else that stands out. Kick out 21s. I wish that was 26s. But yeah, we'll kick out 21s on a few different sides. If you find him for there might be a slightly better way to play that, and I'll have a look if I can find it. Market value, no. Oh wow, like pretty much nothing that really excited me in that Warriors Canberra game. Interestingly enough, usually there's at least a couple, but moving on, anytime try scorer, Knights, Raiders, Blocky Fitz, don't like him with that Ponga there. Happy to move on. Josh Papali'i, $7.25. Up against a really weak pack. I might actually play that, but it is his first game. He probably won't get that many minutes. He's coming off calf. We'll have to see. But yeah, decent price for Papali'i to score a try. He is the best middle forward try scorer in the NRL pretty much ever, or at least in the last sort of like 10, 15 years. Scores a try once every four. Like to score a try. So if you score 2 or 3 in a game, we don't count that. But his strike rate of scoring at least 1 try in NRL games that he's played is every 4.7 games. That is just freak level. So yeah, well done to Josh Bundy, and that $7.25 looks tempting on Sportsbet for him to score a try. Aside from that, have a look to move on from there. Some sites have like reacted drastically to Forsberg's 2 tries, but the $10 on top is around fair. So I think I'm not going to get too excited. Aside from that, like there could be some fun Croker markets. Tapine, probably Starling. A few of these guys look alright, but we're trying to find a better way to play them. So first try scorer, model value, Leo Thompson. I think that's definitely worth a small dabble. Like even if it's like $4 to win 500 at 126s, Leo Thompson, he's looked good. Like at least stats wise, has been good early this season. And it's not like the Raiders have been amazing. So I think that could be worth a really small dabble. Bradman Best, if you've got confidence in the Knights, a way better price on tab than other sites. That $31 for first try scorer looks pretty good. Historical value, CHN, as I said before, if I find him over $30, I'm going to get on because he's playing right edge. He's a really sort of good ball runner generally next to Fogarty. I like that price. We'll find the best way to play it, but that's $31 on Neds and Tab. Market value, Best stands out at 31s on Tab. Leo Thompson for a few bucks on Sportbet at 126s. So the last one that I'll go into. So first try scorer, second half in this game will be interesting. So there's Matt Croker at $101. There's a chance that he plays sometime on the edge. I actually won a small bet on him at 81s, I think it was, or 91s, FTS second half last year. So just watch out for him because he was an edge back rower, but he's a big boy. He could play in the middle as well, but I don't mind a small dabble on Matt Croker. FTS second half at 101s. Aside from that, there's not too much in this game. So we'll go into the last game for the round. Anytime try scorer, sort by model value. Whoops, what have I done? Cool. I don't love anything, to be honest here. I'm happy to look past these. Historical value for the Dragons and the Sharks game. I think Joshy Kerr at 16s is okay for like a small double, like even if it's $6-7 to win 100, then that was right. Oh my god, Royce Hunt, I love up against the Dragons bench, which is really weak. $13 to score a try. Really like that for Royce Hunt. And then market value, there you go. Royce Hunt, Frankie Molo, but there's a better way to play this, which I'll talk to you in a sec about. Josh Kerr, $101 first try scorer second half. I absolutely love that. I'll show you that in a second. So first try scorer second half. See Kerr at 101, Hunt at 101, first try scorer second half against a weak Dragons bench is ridiculously good, and Kafusi is pretty good as well. So I'd definitely be getting on those 3: Kerr, Hunt, Kafusi. FTS second half, all $101 on tab. And then last bit for this game, Molo at $151, playing his 100th game. Get on. Don't think twice. Even if it's like, I don't know, $4 to win 600. That's a really good fun bet to follow. That'd be cool. Also, you've got to realize that yes, Hines is back, but the Sharks coming off a loss last week to the Raiders. The Raiders haven't looked great this year, and the Dragons have won one of their 2 games. And stuck it out with the Broncos to I think the 70th minute, where the Broncos scored 4 tries. So, anyways, don't need too much reasoning to put a few bucks on Mola at 151s here. Moyes at 41s. I will have a look at the best way to play that on tab, put that in front of his preview, but definitely love that play. Just got to figure out the best way to play that. Laurie, nope, don't even think about it. Not a dynamic ball runner, unfortunately. Historical value, ULA at 51s. I thought it was 67s before. Don't love him at 51s, but if we do find him at over 61s, I would love that. Nothing else here. And then market value, I think we've covered most of this stuff already. But that's it, guys. So again, what we've done is go through, last week, quick recap, gone through team changes, we've gone through the odds comparison tool. As I said at the start, if you could follow us on any of the social media that you use, join our free Discord and check out all our data tools that'll be updated for round 4 towards the end of, or like Wednesday, late hour, evening Sydney time. That'd be super helpful for us. But aside from that, get involved on Twitter and Discord, join the community, and hopefully we have a couple of winners this weekend. But yeah, all the best and enjoy round 4 of the NRL. Thank you.